Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us in the live. If you've joined us, I always fuck these intros up. Joining me today is a gentleman that I met through another gentleman. Yeah, I think that's how we met. Mr. Calvin Butler. Say hello, everybody. Calvin Butler.
Hello.
Bring that. It's gonna get into your space. Bring it right in there.
There you go.
Calvin does. Geez, you do a lot of stuff. I was gonna say shit, man. I gotta watch my mouth. Your clients may watch this. You do a lot of stuff. Like, it's not just people think it's lawn mowing, but there's so much more that goes into it.
Oh yeah.
Tell me some of the other things that you do. Some of the services that you do.
So the typical service.
Oh shit, my bad.
That's his fault.
Okay. So yeah, we do lawn maintenance, but we also do landscaping. So if you've got something you want beds pulled out, you want a new bed put in, we also offer heavy equipment hauling, boat hauling. We do underbrush clearing. So I've got a bobcat with a skid steer and that with a mulching blade on it.
Sweet.
I'm able to go in and clear out land and stuff.
Oh, nice. So you're basically a big kid playing in the dirt.
Exactly. That's what I try.
Now I have, every in our generation, every young guy, I used to push around a lawnmower when I was a kid and charge $10 to cut the front and the backyard, and sometimes you get a little tip or whatever, but, like a moldy meatball or something, but it was like you just wanted to have I wanted to make a little money. I wanted to have some freedom. I wanted to be able to do things and whatnot. Right. But now before you started all this, we're going to go way back. We're going to start all way back at the beginning. Not at the very beginning. That'd be weird. But you had other things before you started your own business. You worked for other companies, right?
Yeah. I did IT for 15 years with 3 different companies within Jacksonville.
So that's a quite lucrative job to have, right?
Very.
IT?
Very.
And not a lot of people want to leave that job.
No, but you get tired of working for the corporate.
Yeah.
You get tired of doing the day-to-day, having a punch a clock.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to make my own hours.
Yeah.
And leave something for a legacy for my own family.
There you go.
That's
really where you decided Butler Resolution is going to start.
Right. Correct.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
About 2 years.
2 years?
Because I'm like anybody else starting a business. You're kind of scared. You're intimidated, and that's a lot of money putting out. Just to get it off the ground.
And you have a family, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So my son helps out when he can. My son-in-law does. My daughter does all of our social media from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Website's fixing to get rehabbed. Need some updates on that.
Yeah.
And then my wife takes care of the day-to-day operations for billing and
It's all
taxes.
in the family, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I like. I got my son-in-law over here.
Yeah, man. Congrats. I don't blame
Yeah.
you.
No, I mean, he's kind of contractually bound to come help me.
Right.
Shit, I got fuck you money.
Back. All right. Either that or you get your daughter back. So it's easier to let him do it.
He can have her. I love you, Gabby.
All right.
You don't want to pay her bills.
Yeah,
exactly.
and I've raised my children. I love my grandson, but I like to keep him at their house.
Mm-hmm. Best part about it, feed him with sugar and send him back home.
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
Feeding with sugar at my house.
I don't want to go that far. I'm not that grandpa, but I will let him do whatever he wants. Yeah, I mean, and we're roughly the same age and whatnot. You got. So I've been watching your daughter's handiwork on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff, and I love it. Do you get on those social media apps and watch or consume any of that stuff at all?
I do. I mean, I actually watch a lot of different people. I mean, you've got guys that's doing this, for a living.
Yeah.
They're doing lawn, but they're also out there. There's one guy out of Savannah.
Is that SB?
You grow it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you grow it, you mow it. You grow it, we mow it.
Okay.
Love his content, and he speaks the truth. He's like, you're not going to buy me. I'm not going to produce your product. I'm going to give the good, bad, and indifferent. Right. And I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I've got Gravely, I've got Toro, I've got Echo, I've got Steel, all equipment. And one may work better for one job and totally different from the other.
Yeah, that was going to be another question for later on, but that's because I'm sure it's hard trying to figure out. Okay, what's the best thing I need? What do I need to have? And then some people go with all one ecosystem. They're like all this brand. That's all I'm going to use. Right. I don't know if you've heard of them, but there's a company. They're over in like off of like Old St. Augustine. I can't remember the friggin' name of the company, but
Tools for Time.
Tools for Time. Mm-hmm. And I used to work at that place that was near it. At a place that was near it. I don't like to say where I work or where I've worked. I like to give people the illusion that this is all I do for a living.
There you go.
Once a week, baby. No, but and I used to know Jeff. I used to know that guy and talk to him and stuff. And I was like, so what is your deal? Because they would like basically. You just buy a business from them. Mm-hmm. So you get your truck, your trailer, or your van or whatever, and all the equipment, and then you just pay them back.
Right.
I mean, but you didn't do anything like that. You did it all on your own, yeah?
Yeah, we did it all on our own. Me and the wife decided January of 24.
Yeah.
We pulled the trigger and we got an F-350.
Nice.
And then by March...
Small carbon footprint there.
Yeah, small. Yeah. I got the diff fuel. I didn't get it deleted.
It's electric.
Right.
It's a lot better than those cow farts, goddamn.
It's the burps.
It's burps.
That's right. Excuse my ignorance.
So, but I mean, we've always tried to stay local.
Yeah.
So I bought the trailer. I kept looking. Man, I'm talking $15,000-$16,000 for a 7x16 trailer enclosed.
Yeah.
And I'm able to get a 6 foot tall. Well, I'm 6 foot tall. I want to be able to ride my equipment in. So I got a guy out of Placa, Marty Trailers. Shout out to him.
Shout out.
He took care of me. I got a 7x16, 7.3 height.
Oh.
So I can literally ride my stand on straight through. Ain't got to worry about it.
That's nice.
Had a turnaround time 2 weeks. It was perfect.
So he built it for you?
He had the manufacturer build it and had it to me in 2 weeks. He's like, when do you need it? I said, as soon as you can get it. He said, I can get it here in 2 weeks. He actually got it here. He said it was supposed to be like 14 days.
Yeah.
And he actually had it at 12.
Nice.
Ready. And then there's a local company, Zach's Outdoors, out in Green Cove. That's where I went and bought. Yeah, another shout out. Went and bought all my equipment to begin with. From them, I bought my Gravely, all my still equipment, Echo, all my Echo stuff. I ended up buying from Florida Georgia Distributing. Over off of Cassett.
Okay.
Great guys over there. Come to find out, they know my family. They went to high school with my family. So, you know, it's a small net community. You know, if you work it right, I've got guys that we work with. If I can't make a job, I'll give it to another guy.
Yeah.
Olin with Healthy Roots. He does that.
Maybe turn it down a
Okay,
smidge.
I'll stop.
You know, and I mean, you get calls all the time. You know, you see Facebook posts, you know, Instagram. People see it, and they just want you to travel.
Right.
Come do my yard. I want you to look like this.
Right.
But it may not be worth it for me to go to Keystone for a job. You know, so I've got Triple Play Lawn Care that we throw business to him all the time, or we've tried to.
Yeah.
You know, and what is the other one? Lawn Services Near Me is actually a Green Cove run business.
Nice.
Family business as well. And
so you guys just bounce work?
We bounce work. We, you know, promote each other's business, Facebook posts.
That's how you make it.
And that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
There's enough business out here for everybody to make a dollar.
Yeah.
You know?
It seems like that's going to be, I mean, unless something really, really bad happens, which, you know, we can get into that later. But, you know, everybody wants to have, like, the nice manicured lawns, and especially like businesses and apartment complexes and, you know, really rich people.
Right.
I mean, I'm a poor, so you see how my yard looks. I'm also, like we talked about earlier, you know, Calvin's been here for a minute, so we've been talking.
Yeah.
But I'm just lazy, man. And I got lazy. When I was married, I did all of that stuff. I would spend the entire day out in my yard, cutting the grass, edging, you know, doing all that weed eating, edging, pulling weeds out of the rose garden, and then, you know, like fertilizing everything and just doing it all.
Right.
And I loved it. And then you stand back and you look at it, and you're like, oh, that looks so good, you know. But I don't know. In the last like 8 years, I've just been like, you know what? I'm going to pay someone else to do this, because not that I can actually afford it, but, you know, it only has to get cut like maybe once every 2 months. It's not that bad. There's just really no grass. It's all dirt. But like I said, I know what was I going with that? I don't know. I lose my train of thought. I apologize.
All good.
Like I told you, we're not real put together like that other show you were on. Those guys had their, you know, they had it on lock.
Oh, yeah. That was a good show, but they definitely had it on lock.
Yeah,
in and out.
But this is all about you, and you have the whole, except for if he does that shit again. Okay, I'm just gonna let you guys know, if you didn't know, we have a visitor. He's in the passenger seat over here. My friend Will Todd.
Shout out.
You can like come around and say hi to the camera.
Get up in here, bro.
Just wave right there.
What's up, guys?
Come down some.
All right,
Come down some.
Oh no!
Get your face in
Cut
there.
his head off.
Get your freaking face in there.
All right, now go sit back in your corner.
Right. Put baby in the corner.
That's it.
Back in the corner.
That's right. We'll dance later. Oh man, I lose my train of thought and it's gone, but it's fine. We can circle back to some other things. We talked about a lot of stuff outside already, and I'm gonna have to try and remember all of it, but I think we can probably get there. So you went from IT, working in a building in an air condition, to being outside and dealing with the elements all the time. But but I'm sure the dividends of freedom that you have pays
volume.
off. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I've always loved doing my own yard. I'm one of those, like you were saying, 8 years ago, you used to take care of it, whatever. It's still to this day, I mean, it's bad now. I have to put my own lawn on my own schedule to get my yard done because I don't want to do it. It's like a mechanic. They've got some of the best mechanic work they've ever done, but their cars is on 2 legs and a hopper wheel, type deal.
Yeah, it seems like everyone that I've ever met that has specifies in a certain, career or, function in life, it's like whatever that is in their life, it's always messed up.
Yep.
I mean, luckily his air conditioner works. But.
Yeah, I have an air conditioner, but it's like Frankenstein together, and probably average pieces on there are 25 years old. So yeah, but it fucking runs like a champ.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Hey, if you know how to do it, you know how to do it.
That's it. No, I mean, and that's so I get it. I get it. I do a podcast, and I'm like the worst about editing this thing and posting stuff. I'm horrible. It's just when you have I work a full-time job, so. Get that out of your head, guys. I don't do this for a living. But it's hard to find the time, so I get it. But how do you feel when you see your own lawn pop up in your schedule? You're like, oh, shit.
I literally tell the wife not to confirm the appointment.
That's funny. Hey, I got stuff to do today. I can't do my own lawn.
And sometimes that happens. I mean, you end up having to.
Get busy.
It's like we hadn't had rain in 21 days.
Fuck.
Next week, it's all supposed to be nothing but rain.
Great.
Our yard may not get done next week.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the dry weather. I've been riding my bike every day to work. Yeah. It's everywhere. So now I'm going to be a wet rat because I'm probably going to ride in the rain.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we work in the rain. I mean,
do you?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
All weather, huh?
All weather.
Yeah.
I mean, all the way through the winter. I mean, we still service, make sure hedges.
I was just going to ask, what do you do when the grass ain't growing?
So it does go dormant, but we still go out and make sure the edges are clean. If the hedges need to be done, we try to do a lot of project work at that point. So if you've got something that you really want to do during the summer, don't come to me in July, August when it's 109 outside and you're wanting all new stuff done. Yeah, we can do it, but it
paying
takes
a little
time.
more.
Yeah, it takes a little more. You're going to pay a little more, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad to say that, but I mean, look,
same
it takes more.
Same in HVAC with ductwork. We don't do ductwork in the summer months. If we do, it's going to be 30-40% more than what you would pay for in the winter. So
100%.
Yeah, it's hot up there. I wouldn't hire anybody in the heat. Whenever, like I have a lawn guy, and I mean, I feel bad when the dude has to come, but they're done with my yard in like 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. They're so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure y'all are the same way because the more lawns the more addresses you hit, the more money that is.
Right. And I mean, we average about anywhere between 20 to 25 a day.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, we're busy. When we started last year, we finished the end of the year with 200 clients. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're sitting at 257. And I've got 3 more quotes coming up this week that I know I got to do.
Now, these are all residential?
No, we do residential and commercial.
Okay, I was just going to ask you.
We take care of Fields Cadillac St. Augustine, Fields Cadillac of Orange Park. They do have a lawn guy, but their lawn guy doesn't do tree trimming and doesn't do other things that we do, pressure washing. So
y'all do pressure washing?
We do pressure washing as well. So I've pressure washed St. Augustine and Orange Park. We also have United Rental off of Pritchard.
Okay.
So we do them as well. And then I have 2 investors that I work for.
Investors?
So, yeah. They average anywhere between 37 and 51 houses at a time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice. Do y'all do like horticulture too? Like, I mean, I guess is that the right word? I don't know. Like
botany, horticulture, isn't that like Petri stuff?
No, I think horticulture is like when you like design the plants and arrange everything. And
we can. We hadn't expanded that much. I mean, I can.
That's a lot of money.
Absolutely, yeah.
Imagine that's a lot. That's like we were talking out in the backyard. You seen my shithole. I was just like, if I had the money to throw at it, I would just pay somebody to come out here. I want to be able to not come in my backyard, just put the blinders up, and y'all just make miracles happen out
here.
here.
Extreme makeovers all over again.
You see, man. I tell you, I love those shows, man.
Oh yeah.
And what was it? It was one of them shows, but it was the guy and his wife, and they got divorced or something, but they did like all in California. So they were like really, I think it was Flip or Flop, maybe.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah, but they did this really huge house. They had a huge backyard, and they had this tiny little Of course, they're like, they always start out, we've got a small budget. Like, come on, right. You ain't getting out of that house without spending at least $250,000. But they had this little $35,000 budget. They ended up going to like $250,000. But they hired just this guy. They were like, look, design it, show me your plans, and then make it happen.
Right.
And the dude ended up making like probably $30,000 just doing their backyard.
Oh yeah.
Like designing it and then building everything out, because they did this weird like custom pool and all this crazy shit.
Yeah. That's where a lot of it is now, as people's coming in, and we just gained a new property, and the guy actually has his grill is in ground. He steps down, and he's even with his pool. So his grill, he's got his egg, he's got his grill, and then he can turn to the side and literally serve plates to people in the pool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was over in Durbin Crossing.
I was about to say, where's that? At like fucking Sawgrass?
No, it's actually Durbin Crossing, but it's a private community. And it's good to have it, but he waited 8 months to be able to do that.
Wow. Yeah?
Yeah, that's what it took him.
Oh, that's how long it took him to build it?
To build it.
Damn.
And he had new sod put down and everything, and we did it 2 weeks ago, and I was like, man, that's amazing.
That's kind of cool to see all that. I'm sure you see some cool stuff and probably some not so cool stuff.
Yeah, there's some things you're like, ooh, really?
Yeah. What's some of the craziest shit you've seen, man? Out there in the wild.
And one of the investors has a quadplex.
Okay. What is a quadplex?
So
I feel like a really dumb right now.
So you got a duplex and then a quadplex.
Okay.
So you've got, but it's 2 stories. Quadplex is 2 stories. It's in the middle of the road, and they're individual owners, but there's no trash ever been pulled away from this building.
What?
At least for 2 years.
No trash?
No trash. And all you did was put it on the street. So when I went over there to bid it, he was like, yeah, he goes, look at the trash and tell me how much. I'm like, I'm not touching that, dude. You need to call, Mr. Junk or whatever that other company is and come haul this away.
Wow.
The tenants were just going in the backyard and
just dumping it?
Throwing everything in there.
At least burn it. No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Something, But, I mean, you took that much time to go to the backyard. You could have walked straight to the street and it'd have been picked up.
That's insane. That's insane. I'm sure it smelled glorious.
Oh. And then I've had one of my clients, all their animals, they've buried. It was like a whole pet cemetery in their backyard. There was like 12 little graves. They had little headstones and everything.
Yeah, don't hit little Timmy.
And that's the thing. The wife's like, hey, we have this in the corner. And she first told me when I went out there to bid it, she was like, we take care of everything inside the border.
So they had it roped off with
I'm talking
pavers?
No, it was the big metal borders, like the 6-inch border that they put down.
Wow.
He was like, we don't even want you to weed eat up to it. He goes, when you come, we'll have that area done. You just match up to it and keep on going.
That's insane.
And I'm talking, it's as big as this table.
Wow. I mean, I guess they love their pets.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just put one down, and they were like, you want it? Nope. I'm good.
All right.
Keep it.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to deal with it. You know. Mm-mm. We had a damn near a petting zoo for a while. 2 bunny rabbits, 3 dogs, a bearded dragon, what else did we have? I don't know, but they all started flopping. So it's like,
ooh,
you know, which.
Oh yeah,
it's bad for the girls. They love the animals, but I love animals, but I'm not mad when they're gone.
Right.
When we get down to 0 dogs, I have to go get another one. I'll always have a dog. There's always a spot in my house for a dog. I'm sure you. And my landscape guy probably hates me because I don't pick up my dog shit.
And that's an upcharge. I ain't gonna lie. I actually had a client that she had a disabled dog that he could only walk on his front paws.
Oh no!
And so he drug his butt all around.
Oh, fun!
But he would do it anywhere
Just
in the yard. I'm talking on the back patio, in the yard, whatever. And it got to the point where I've literally told her, I'm like, look, either you're gonna pick his stuff up, or there's gonna be an extra charge.
Or you're gonna be out front spraying my tires off.
Yeah. Well, it's not just tires. I mean, you figure at that point, she wanted it bagged.
Oh, she wanted you to pick it up.
Yeah, she wanted me to bag her grass. Well, at that point, it's going into the hopper.
Yeah, nope.
Dog shit is due. No.
Pass.
I'm like, that'll be $30.
You know, there's company. I saw it the other day riding down the road. I'm sure you've seen them. I can't remember the name
Scooper.
of the. Yeah, is that what it's called?
There's like 4 of them I ran across.
Yeah.
Sergeant Pooper, Pooper Scooper, and then there's 2 other ones.
Yeah.
I can't think of their names.
You can like make a business out of anything. But I mean, it's just crazy to think that there's a person out there that you can pay to come and pick up your dog shit.
Once a week, $17 a week.
What are they doing with all that dog shit?
They-
Fertilizer?
Yeah, seriously. That's probably the black cow I'm picking up now.
You think?
The fertilizer. They ain't as well.
Well, we tried to compost for a little while. We have a compost spinner out there. There's no telling what's growing in that thing right now because we haven't opened it in probably over a year.
That's some good mushrooms, I guarantee.
Probably, yeah. I'll be happy as long as there's no it doesn't explode on the side of my house or something.
There you go.
But we vented, I guess. It's vented.
Yeah.
I hope.
The lids typically
It stopped
are, yeah.
smelling, so it's got to be dirt by now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got to be good. Probably some really rich soil in there.
Probably.
So it took you. So you worked in. Hold on, let me go back to IT. How long did you work in IT? You said?
15 years.
15 years, and then at around the 15-year mark, you were like, or 13-year mark.
About a 13-year mark.
You were starting to. You get the itch.
I get the itch, but I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
My wife one day I was outside cutting the yard. I was one of those. I was out there all day long.
Yeah.
Push mode, make sure the lines matched and everything. And she's like, "Well, you really like yards." And I'm like, "Okay." So we just started taking the plan, and January 24, we bought the truck, and March
That's
we
all
went
history.
live, and yeah, that was it.
Oh, that's cool, man. I mean,
and I was working 2 jobs. I was working both jobs.
Yeah.
So I was working IT from 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, and then
Yeah.
from 2 in the afternoon to 9, 10 o'clock at night sometimes.
Yeah.
And doing that 6 days a week.
How hard was it to take that leap and leave your job and go full time?
I did it for about 4 months, and it got to the point where the clients grew to the point where I wasn't able to take care of them during the week or on Saturday.
Right.
Well, I'm not working on Sunday. I'm having 1 day off.
Yeah.
And I told the wife, I'm like, look, I'm gonna go in and ask them if I can take, part time, go 32 hours. I'll give them 32 hours and then go. They actually came back and said no. They were like, your position is full time. We can't allow that. I said, okay, effective immediately. Instead of me leaving part-time in 2 weeks, August 2nd will be my last day.
So now they have no IT guy in that position.
They hadn't even refilled it. They couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, it sounded like, we don't need to get into, unless you want to, but it sounds like maybe there might be some legalities. I don't know.
Yeah,
but some of the stuff we talked, but you were pretty damn good at your job.
Yeah,
we'll just put it that way.
Yeah, we'll put it that way, yeah. I enjoyed it. I still love the people. I still talk to a lot of people that I work with.
Yeah.
They follow us on Facebook.
Oh, nice.
Which is good, and they promote us and stuff. And I appreciate that, more than you know. But at the end of the day, it was what was best for us.
Right.
But I told them that August 2nd was going to be my last day. Got a call from HR on July 26th and said, you can leave now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I imagine in that position, that type of job, they don't want to take any chances. Like you might be able to
do something.
Which I'm sure you probably still could if you wanted to. But I know you're not that type of guy.
No, that's definitely not.
That's what I don't know. The company I work for now, they do that same shit. If I put my 2 weeks in, they'll be like, yeah, you can just go.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to sell fucking company secrets? Like, what
Yeah.
it's not, there's no secrets, you know, but.
No.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, that's good, man. I think that's, you know, like we were talking about earlier, that's the hardest part for me is I've gotten to that point like a few times in my life where I'm ready to just step away and be like, okay, we got to just go full speed with this.
Right.
And I always take the easy route. I always fall back because I'm too scared because it's like I got people that count on me, and you know you do too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's like, how much risk are you willing to take?
Right.
You know, and I start weighing what could happen, and I'm like, shit, I could lose my house. I could lose everything. Everyone that counts on me, they're all going to be sleeping under a bridge somewhere, or you know, one of those homeless encampments that we were talking about.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, and I can't have that. So I always try to be a provider, and I've always tried to, and that's always been my main goal. And it seems like I said, I applaud you for taking that leap.
I appreciate it.
And stepping out and making that hard decision. It takes guts.
It does. And I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just like anything else.
Yeah.
If you know, the court, any company, anybody, somebody had to take a leap.
Yeah. That's true.
And does it bite you sometimes? You get tired? Yeah. You know, but thank God I've got some good guys that work with me, you know,
and you have your whole family working with you too, so that's good.
Right, but I mean, they all have jobs, so
Okay.
it's kind of one of those. Yeah, I'm off on Tuesday, or I'm off on Saturday, and I'm like, I don't want to work Saturday. But,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, got a good guy I've known for about 2 years that's helping me now. He's done it, so we're able to get it done.
Yeah.
That's what, at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
And yeah, you know, and we were talking about expanding, you know, earlier.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I know you were thinking about that as well.
Yeah, and that's something else to bite, because I mean, you know, I've got everything.
It's a risk.
It's a big risk, you know, and we just took on the expansion of a new truck, you know, but I've already got another trailer on order and stuff like that. But I mean, you're not talking $2,000-$3,000. You're talking $60,000 for a truck. You're talking.
It's like starting a whole nother business.
Oh yeah, you're talking $20,000 for a dump trailer.
Right.
You know, and people don't realize, you know, what I mean. It's like my trailer. Just my trailer, the equipment in my trailer, you're talking $60,000 just sitting there.
Jesus.
And that's just running.
Yeah.
That's not maintenance. That's not, you know, that you got to pay for.
Right.
You know, and I try to be cautious when bidding jobs, because there's people out there, oh, they'll do it for $35. Okay, well, you get what you pay for. But at the end of the day, you know, this is not, I'm speaking English. Sorry to say it, but I'm speaking English. You can understand what I'm saying.
Oh.
You know, and I get it. I mean, everybody needs a job, but at the same time, everybody has my number.
Right,
Our company number is my cell phone.
I got you.
You know, so you're not going through somebody else to finally get a message to me.
Right.
You're coming directly to the horse.
That's good.
You know, and that helps.
It gives your customers confidence.
Right.
You know, imagine.
And the thing about it is I mean, they get notifications. They can see who's coming. So they can see it's me. They can see it's my son-in-law, my son. You know, they get a picture of whoever's showing up.
Now, is that through this app that you were talking about?
Yeah.
What is this app?
The app it's called Jobber, and
Okay.
so I'm able to schedule, send notifications, send invoices, all of that. But each person has a picture that works for us. So if it sends a reminder at 6 o'clock the night before that we're going to be there the next day, here's the technicians that's going to be there. An hour before we get there, they send another text message or email, and they see those pictures may have changed, but you're still getting 2 people.
Right.
And like I tell all my clients, I may not be there when the job first starts, but before we finish, I'm going to be there.
Yeah. So
You
you go through and do like a quality inspection afterwards.
Right. If I'm not there, if I'm not able to be there. So like we've got some work coming up this Friday and Saturday. There's one job that I'm going to make it there when we first start, but I'm going to have to leave, and then I'll have to come back to make sure it was all completed.
Now, that's good because, you know, like there's not this current company that I got now, my friend Craig, you know, that does my yard, but I've had other companies that they would start out with the owner of the company, and they'd be out there doing it, and it would be all perfect. And then they go to another guy, or they'd send somebody else out, different tech. But they didn't have that app,
right?
And it was just like one of those mom and pop type of deals. Maybe they were just getting started or what have you. I'm not 100% sure, but you could note there was noticeable difference in the work, like.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
we all have off days. I mean, no matter what it is,
yeah.
We all have those off days. And I've had clients call me and be like, hey, man, you didn't blow the back porch. I apologize. We'll swing back around before the end of the day, and I'll hit it again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and as one of those old dads, with my New Balance shoes and my white socks up to my knees, my jean shorts out there cutting my grass, like I took pride in like my edging and my, all that stuff. So it was like, especially curb edging and shit like that. I was like, so when I would hire somebody to do it, like I don't know, and that's the thing. Like I never knew if I was paying a premium or like a low rate or like the normal, going rate. I had no clue. I still don't. I just my friend does it for me, and I pay him. I just pay him whatever.
Right.
He's like, pay me whatever. I don't care.
And I mean, nowadays everybody's got a minimum.
Yeah.
So most companies have, hey, I'll pull up to your house, but I'm not pulling a piece of equipment off for less than $40.
Okay.
And that may include your whole yard. That may not include your whole yard.
Right.
Because I'm not going to do $40 if you've got hedges all the way around your house.
And see, that's where I would hurt myself as a landscaper. Like if I had my own business, I would shoot myself in the foot because I would want to do the same job, like the same quality job, whether they were paying me $40 or $100.
Yeah, I mean, it's done the same. I mean, because the way my yard looks, I try to leave everybody's yard, even if it looks like your yard. I still try to
low blow.
I still try to make sure that it looks identical to what I would left my yard as possible.
Yeah, there's no help for my yard. You're literally,
no, you can.
You're cutting dirt at this point. Like that's one of the reasons I quit. I quit doing it myself. When I bought this house, there was an old guy living here, and he moved, and he left everything, furniture, you name it, couches, TVs. He left everything. He just took like a box full of clothing and his dog and went back to Ohio or wherever the fuck he's from.
Wow.
And he wasn't going to be around much longer. But so there was a brand new John Deere riding lawnmower. Looked like it never had been used. Like it was brand new.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, and I went out there and started, I cut my grass and, every week, sometimes if it didn't even need it, I'd be out there riding that damn thing around.
Right.
And it was just so much dirt, man. And I was like, I come in and just, black snot rockets, dirt.
Exactly.
So bad, and I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I just don't want to.
Oh, and I mean, we do the same thing. I mean, there's times that I come in and my wife's like, "Don't even come in the house."
Just spray you off.
Well, she already tells me, she's like, "You got to get undressed in the garage." She's like, "You can't come through." And then when I do, she's like, "You could have wiped your head off. You could have wiped your face off." And I'm like, "I can't see it anyways. Let me get to a mirror first."
I can't even see you.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it happens.
It's part of the job.
That's it.
Yeah. That's funny.
But that's when you worked hard that day.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's in that field for sure.
Right, for sure.
But yeah, for sure it's not an easy job, especially being in Florida. Holy shit, it gets hot here.
Right.
I don't know.
We were at 90 on Friday.
I don't know how y'all do it in the heat.
Stay hydrated is all you can do.
I've been, like I said, I watch your reels and stuff, and I'm just like, that dude looks like he's gonna die. Like he's out there sweating, and I'm just like, no, man, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
could not do it. Now, have you ever? Like we talked about this earlier. I asked you if you consume like social media and stuff like that, but like there's this company that I follow on TikTok, and this guy, he goes around doing like mostly for his TikToks. Mm. But he'll find a real bad lawn in a real bad neighborhood or something, go up there and be like, hey, I'll cut your grass for free if you let me film it.
Yeah.
SB mowing.
Yeah, SB mowing. Yeah,
and I've been following them turds since I've been on TikTok. And it's the weirdest thing in the whole wide world. Sorry to call you turds. They're great people, I'm sure. But it's just the weirdest thing that, I don't know if it's just a guy thing, but I can literally watch a time-lapse video of somebody cutting the grass for hours, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, and just be like, and not fall asleep. It's just the weirdest. It's like mesmerizing. It's almost like ASMR or something, you know?
Well, it's just like, I mean, people do videos now of, hey, edging or, blowing off the right way. Or whatever.
Right.
And I mean, I can sit there and just like, oh, well, no, I'll do that, but I'm not doing that. That don't look right.
Right.
And do you try it? Oh, yeah, you do. To say, hey, were they right or were they wrong? So
maybe those should be some of your next wave of videos where you're like, all right, this is what this guy said.
Right.
I'm going to try it. And then maybe prove them wrong.
Well,
or
I mean, I've got a
where
couple companies that we interact and stuff like that, like I said. But they get out and they edge the yard first.
Mm-hmm.
And then they mow and come back and weed eat. Well, to me, every time I do that, you don't get the crisp edges.
Okay.
For edging your property. So
Plus, it's always either high low or low high.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I used to cut my grass. I would always edge first.
Right.
Or weed eat first, and then I would edge afterwards. Like the driveway. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. We always weed eat. I mean, now we weed eat and mow at the same time. With teams. But
yeah.
But if I was by myself, I'd weed eat first, then mow, and then come back and edge and blow everything off.
Mm-hmm. And for the folks watching live, or after the live, this is probably the most dad shit you've ever heard in your life. I'm just saying. We could talk. I could talk about cutting grass all day as long as I got to do it. Right. But it is. It's just one of those things. It's like this weird. It's like escapism or something. That because, when you become a father, all the stuff that you used to do, it kind of goes away.
Right.
And then you got to have something to fill your time.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of guys that don't do it for a living, they go out and they'll spend their entire Saturday or whatever, cutting grass and making it look pretty, trimming hedges and all this stuff. Like literally I could spend from, dawn till dusk cutting my yard.
Finding something to do.
Yeah, my ex-wife would be like, "What are you doing out there all day?" I mean, I would go through a case of Corona, but I would get a lot done.
Right.
Back
in the day, I used to do the same thing.
Yeah, when the neighbor comes over, the work is kind of like, it slows way down.
Well, now what's funny is you get older people, older than us, and they're like, yeah, I don't, I just can't keep up my yard. I've got a guy that I just talked to. I've got to go out this week, and he was like, yeah, I want you to come bid my yard. And I was like, okay. I said, do you have hedges? He's like, no, I'll do those. He said, that's the only way I can get the hell out of the house and get away from the wife. You can do that with the yard too. And he's like, no, I can't do the yard, but I'll take care of my own hedges.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you got to have some reason to get away. And it's not, it's funny because it's like when women hear that, they're like, really? Is that what it is? And
right.
Nah, it's not you. It's just that.
It's not you, it's me.
We got to have a release, dude.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Buy me a punching bag or something, some weights or something. I got to have something to do.
Right.
Because, I mean, we are doers. Most guys are doers.
Doers and fixers.
Yeah, we got to be moving constantly. As soon as I sit on that couch, it is over.
Right. That's my recliner, yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. Don't ask me to do shit unless you're asking me to get up for dinner. It's like,
even then, can you bring me a little to-go plate?
Yeah, so I can sit here and eat on my spot.
Right.
Yeah, we can eat in the living room. Come on, don't fuck that. You see my table. There's shit all over it. We always eat in the living room.
Right.
I got that big ass TV in there, so we always have to take advantage of it. But but like I said, it is a very dad thing to do. But I think that it's great that there's people out there that can capitalize on that and make a living from it.
Right.
And it, like I said, dude, there's always it's almost like I don't want to equate it to the medical field because medical people will be like, "What the fuck? We're saving lives," but
there's always an 8-year degree.
Yeah, there's always going to be sick people,
right?
And people getting broken bones and shit. But there's always the grass will not stop growing,
right?
Unless there's some kind of catastrophe, like nuclear shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but even then, the grass will probably still grow, but we won't.
Yeah, it'll be grass and cockroaches. That's it.
Yeah, and a lot of bones.
Yeah.
I worry about that. I don't know what's going on. Not to get political or anything, because I try to stay the fuck away from that shit.
Right.
But I haven't heard anything out of Ukraine and Russia or anything. I don't know what's going on over there. Have they blown themselves completely to Kingdom Come, Pat? I resort to him for everything like that.
So Putin released a statement today saying something along the lines of, I guess there was supposed to be a 3-day ceasefire for World War II memorial or World War I memorial, and Ukraine didn't take it. And Putin was basically saying, see, they won't even ceasefire for, commemoration of fallen comrades from past, So they obviously don't even want to end the war if they don't even have good intentions to do that. So it's back and forth. Evidently, the U.S. Struck a mineral deal on Thursday with them, but I haven't followed up with that. There's been like 3 or 4 times where they've struck a deal, it's fell through, struck a deal, it's fell through. There's been multiple ceasefire talks, and then next day there's casualties in Kyiv, or there's casualties in Moscow or on Russia's side. And so it's just so back and forth right now. There's nothing really set in stone.
That scares me, whole situation, because we've got like hypersonic missiles now. So like they can turn on a dime, because before it was just like, it's going to go up and then come back down. So we kind of could be like, it's like a slow right, it's like coming at you like a B-52 bomber, what to do with it, but now it's like, hey, we're going, nope, just kidding. And there's nothing that you can do, It's between that and like Yellowstone, the caldera out in Yellowstone, like.
I hadn't heard about that.
Oh, yeah. Yellowstone we talk about this a lot. People are probably screaming at their fucking phones right now.
Shut the fuck up.
But like there is a caldera, which is the largest volcano ever recorded. But Yellowstone has a caldera volcano. That people don't really know a lot about that.
Oh wow!
It goes off like every about like what 650 years, 650,000 years or something like that.
Somewhere around there,
And we're due. We're in that range
Lord,
from the last time apparently it went off from. According to what geologists
what did we say last week? There was a magma cap.
Yeah. Oh,
really
we got when we talk about factual shit like this, we have to preface it with, I'm a dumbass. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Allegedly.
Because YouTube gave us a fact check on one of our
Fucking idiots.
It's okay. I'd rather them do the fact check thing than cut down the whole episode altogether.
True.
They've done that. We've had that happen as well.
Oh wow.
But it's getting a little better. But I don't know.
Is that what they struck us for? A magma cap? Talking about?
I don't remember. It was something along those. We were talking science
maybe
stuff.
Maybe it was global warming or
something. We might have brought up COVID or something.
That, and I think we talked about like a nuclear winter and what it would do to the Earth.
Yeah, we did kind of go in
nuclear war. Or Caldera, but if that Caldera happened, that's
but if it goes off, I think we're not going to be in good shape.
No.
North America is pretty toasty.
I think the whole world.
The whole world's going to feel it.
Mass famine.
Yeah. So that thing scares the shit out of me.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you saw how fragile the trade was when the pandemic happened, So, like, throw a fucking just event that takes out a whole continent,
Yeah.
That fucking throws a wrench into everything.
Yeah. Not to go doom and gloom. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Because you're an upbeat guy.
Right, yeah. I'm about to know that.
But, like, we do that here. We just kind of, like, it just goes wherever it goes. The conversation just goes wherever it goes. But, and usually I try to keep it on point talking about you.
No, it's all good.
But I just, like I said, man, my little tiny brain, it just fires in whatever direction it wants to go.
Right.
So, but, it is what it is, my man. Oh, man. So what is next for SB Mowing? Other than the expansion or what have you, like, what is your goal? What's a 10-year goal for you?
10-year goal is I'm wanting. Right now, we're talking about expanding into lawn spraying.
Into what?
Lawn spraying, fertilization,
spray painting.
No, I've actually seen that, and I've actually had somebody do that. So
I was going to say that's what you do in winter, right?
Yeah, sometimes if need be. Yeah, no, to fertilization, weeds. Fungus,
What do you have to do that? Like, what's the requirements?
Oh yeah, it's EPA
courses and stuff.
Yeah, you got to get certified and all that.
Can you just find somebody that already has all that shit and hire them?
You can, you can. There is people out there that have license that you can buy, but they'll have to answer for anything that you get fined with. But we're wanting to expand, do that, and at the same time, I'm thinking about doing a pool expansion.
There
so you have
you
Butler
go.
Resolution, Lawn Division, Butler Resolution, Pool Division.
Well, it's resolutions, man. You're resoluting everything.
Anything.
You're resolving all the issues.
Right.
What are we doing?
We had a guest just come in the live chat and comment. Mr. Will Todd himself came in and says, "Does Calvin wear his New Balance when he mows the lawn?" Shout out to New Balance.
I don't know.
Actually, I do, and I even have the tan lines to prove for the socks being up.
Yeah, I seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you seem like a pretty fashionable guy. You got your gold on. I'm sure you don't wear that when you're working.
Oh no, no. The only thing, necklace and the earrings, but outside of that, no.
Yeah. No, that's hilarious. Thanks, Will Todd.
He's just mad because my New Balances look better than his.
Yeah, are they tinted green?
Mine are green. Mine were green.
Okay. Mine stays green. They were white. They were whitish green.
Is that a prerequisite? Is that like a job uniform?
Yeah.
Everybody got a
New Balance.
Yeah.
New Balance with black print.
No, okay. He's jerking my chain, y'all.
No, I mean I'm pretty laid back. I mean I wear hiking boots, Columbia hiking boots with high socks. I mean it's too hot to wear jeans or pants or whatever, so I wear shorts and.
Well, in all your videos, you look like you're pretty put together. I mean, like you're out there with like shirt tucked in, and you're like looking like you're all here together. I just know that if it was me, I would look like a wet sewer rat. My shit would be untucked.
Both of my grandfathers owned their own business here in Jacksonville. For my grandfather, on my mom's side, it was Chester Fuel Service. He owned a fuel oil company for 32 years.
A what now?
Fuel oil, kerosene.
Okay.
So he delivered kerosene throughout.
Nice.
And that's what I remember. He had uniforms, and he'd have his pants, he'd have his shirt would be tucked in. And it's all about appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some of these line guys that come out here now, and none of them look the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I provide the hats, the shirts. I don't care what color pants. I don't care if you wear purple boots. I care less. But you're going to at least present yourself.
And represent the company.
From the waist up to look like the company.
That makes sense.
And I am a big guy. For the last year and a half, I'm down like 125 pounds.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Fuck yeah.
So,
congratulations.
Having to keep my pants up, I wear a belt. I mean, I have no other choice. But at the same
That's
time,
a good problem to have.
It's the whole you're presenting yourself. You're selling yourself. It's not just the people seeing your videos. It's also you're selling yourself to them. Right. Because they're not just buying you. They're buying your brand. They're buying what you say you're going to do. And there's some people you can't ever satisfy.
Yeah. Well, I imagine as a customer, as a client, it gives you a sense of like, I don't know, maybe it's safety, but like, what I mean? It's like, this is a real, these guys are real, it's a real business.
Right.
And like, I trust, it's weird how people trust people in uniform.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's almost like like the military. Like we trust our military because I mean, like, and you walk around, you see a guy in uniform, you're like, thank you for your service. I mean, I know I do that every time I see somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially them old guys that wear them World War II hats or whatever. I'm not even sure if they actually. I think the last person just kicked it, didn't they?
I think there's a few more.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of Vietnam guys.
Vietnam. You see them.
When you see a Vietnam guy, you're supposed to say, "Welcome home."
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Not thank you for your service?
No. Well, you can say thank you for your service, but you should say welcome home.
Okay.
Because they were hated in that time.
Got it. So see, I don't know these things.
Say welcome home.
I'm not a military guy.
I learned something too right there.
Yeah.
They'll give you a good head nod for that one.
Yeah, they'll give you a good head nod. Keep it professional, Pat.
Hey, that's all you.
I know. You're right. It's my dirty mind. No, but it does, though. It seems like it would make people feel a little more, they feel better about hiring a company that, like, looks professional.
Right. Well, it's just like, I mean, people, like you're saying, you've got guys that come out and you don't even know, who they really belong to or anything else. We do World Golf Village. Well, a lot of those guys are, they're Northerners. They're only here during certain times.
Snowbirds,
yeah. And with that, I mean, I take pictures of after.
Okay.
So, and I do it, and I can't cheat it because it's done through the app.
Okay.
So I've got clients that I've met one time in a year and a half almost, you know, that they've never seen, but I send them the invoice through email and I attach the pictures and it's taken directly through them. So they can see me on the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he was here today. Well, let's see what he really looks, what the yard really looks like. And a lot of people don't do that either.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been going on vacation for 2 weeks. Let's see what we get home. And you get home, you got a jungle. The guys already billed you for two mows, and they ain't done nothing.
Think that's happening?
Oh, I know it's happening.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah. People do that.
You've had to go behind these people?
Oh, I've had clients call me and say, "Look, I've had a guy. We've been on vacation. We was on a cruise for a month. They come home and the yard hadn't been cut in a month.
But they've been
paid. They've been paid the bill. They've been paying the bill for every week.
That's some shit.
And they're like, "What will you charge?" And I'm like, "I'm not gonna make you eat anything else." I said, "This is what the per cut will be. That's what I'll charge you to get it back up to par."
That's shady, man. Seems like though. I mean, I'm hoping that that's becoming less, but it just seems like there was a period of time where there's a lot of people getting hired at jobs or starting businesses, and they just want to get out there and get the clients, get the money, and not do the work.
Yeah,
I've come across a lot of that, and where I work, people get a job for 2 weeks, get their first paycheck, and then they quit and get that, and then they go get their second paycheck or whatever it is. They still have a couple left because they hold the two and in the beginning, so they get like 2 or 3 or 4 paychecks, and they're off, for 4 weeks just doing whatever. They just quit. And it's just like, or if they're around working, they just don't want to do the work. I'm sure you've probably run into some of that where you've hired people that are just basically worthless.
Oh yeah.
Talk a big game to get hired.
But like, hey, I've run all this on equipment, and you tell them, okay, well, hey, go ahead and change the spark plug on that and edge everything.
Right.
They get out there and be like,
yeah,
I can't do it with that, but I can do it with a weed eater. But you said you run it.
Yeah.
You've done a stand on. Well, yeah, I done a stand on, but it was really more of a walk behind. It's the same thing. Then flip up the stand on, flip up the seat and walk behind it. Just walk it.
That's what I've always wanted to try. That first time I ever seen one of those things where they stand on the thing, and I'm like, that thing looks cool, man. Look, I'm a child at heart.
I'll bring my equipment by.
I could just drive it around.
You can drive it around.
That would be.
You feel what it's like mowing your yard.
That would be a good video.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at?
No, I said the same thing.
Oh, did you?
I called him the other day, last week, and I was like, "Hey, man, if you ever go to mow my grass ever again,
let me ride your mower."
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to get on it.
Yeah, a zero turn. I've always wanted to ride one of those.
Yeah. I got a 60-inch, man. You'll have fun with that one. 60-inch Toro goes 22 miles an hour.
What?
Yes, sir.
Damn.
Jim will have fun with 6 inches.
Stop it, Pat. Stop it.
Sorry, I'm a hack.
I'll just sit on his lap.
I'm a hack. I can't help it.
It was pretty hacky. We learned that term from a comedian that came in here.
Yeah.
Apparently, our little dumb jokes are called hack.
Yeah, I'm a fun.
Oh, okay.
So we are full-fledged hacks. We're like dick jokes. That's all we got. Pull up his Instagram.
Okay.
So we can show people his Instagram page, and then, so folks, if you're watching this right now, I want you to take a little bit of a break, leave it running in the background so you can listen. I want you to go. Oh,
hello.
Hi. It should be.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. And it is Butler.Resolution on Instagram. Is it the same on TikTok, or is it?
Same thing on TikTok.
Okay.
Facebook is just Butler Resolution.
All right. Oh, we love that. All the reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And you were talking earlier about the Better Business Bureau, and y'all are like the only. Is that am I saying that right? Because
that's what they told us. So
okay.
I did a different podcast type thing one time, and I asked them. I said, "How did y'all even find us?" I'm like, "We're in Green Cove, y'all are in Duval." So I mean, how did that happen? And they told us that they went through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, looked us up on LinkedIn, and then they searched us on Better Business Bureau. And they're like, you are the only lawn company on the Better Business Bureau.
That's insane.
That we could find in Northeast Florida.
I mean, it's insane, but it's
and it
awesome.
May be, yeah, I mean, they may be underneath something totally different.
Right.
They may do other things.
But if you're the only one in that category.
Right.
Who cares? I mean, that's awesome. That's a really cool, attribute to your business. That's a really cool thing to say, to be able to say that. Like,
right.
Hey.
I mean, we're the only one. If that's the case, we're the only one. We've got an A+ rating.
Yeah.
We've got, I think it's 12 reviews on Better Business Bureau. trying to build the Google, and then our webpage as well.
Yeah.
That's my guy right there with the backpack blower. Yeah,
okay.
That's John Evans. Like I said, I've known him for about 2 years.
That's
Great
also
guy.
a piece of equipment that I've always wanted to try.
Backpack blower? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because when I was a kid, Ghostbusters,
Mm-hmm.
my friend Craig, the guy that cuts my grass now, had he had an old busted up one, and we would fuck around with it. We would look like we were Ghostbusters, man. I told you I'm a child at heart. And as you are, I can see you sprayed the camera there with your...
I was about to say, so you can see this when I'm pressure washing, and that's my daughter. She literally was soaked by the end of time of we're doing that pressure washing job.
No, that's awesome that she'll come out and film you. That's what I like to see.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is about that time lapse or that 10x video when just like, and you get to see the what it looked like before and then the after.
So that one right there, you got the thing on. So that's a client that we came in. I've known her for years. She told me she wanted us to come and pressure wash. I'm like, look, we just pressure washed in August. And she was like, but I'm putting my house on the market. I was like, okay. So we came through. We pressure washed everything, put new black mulch down, redone the beds. That one to the left, you can see that. So that was a young lady, Miss Janine, right there. I love her to death. She's the best. She's from upstate New York. She moved down here to Peaceful. Her whole yard is pine bark. And she's like, I want to go with a big pine bark. And I'm like, look, no, you don't. Big pine bark, small pine bark, it floats when it rains. The medium seems to stay.
So is that what you're doing? Is going and pulling it back and then
No, this is brand new. She was like,
okay.
She goes, I want it all removed. I said, look, you don't want the dump fee for that. I was like, it's not going to cost me. It's going to cost you.
Yeah.
I said, but we can come back in, and we ended up doing 12 yards of medium pine bark on her yard. We took down a shed. She had a shed. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we done all kinds of work. That one with the tractor, so that one that you just had there with the tractor, that's the same lady that we had just finished the black mulch. She had a fence, and it's cute as all get out. So she lives out in McClenny. She's on like 2.5 acres. That's her house right there in the middle. That's her actual back porch, too, that we're pressure washing, too. But like we did her crepe myrtles. We trimmed her crepe myrtles. But in the very back, she had a potbelly pig.
What?
And so it was fenced off, and then that's the regular backyard where we did the work, and then her front yard. But she had a potbelly pig in the back.
Yeah.
And cute as all get out.
Should have took pictures of that.
Oh, my daughter's probably got them on here somewhere. There's my daughter. That was her birthday, March 5th. She was a shout out to my daughter,
happy
Paige.
belated birthday.
I'm telling you. So, but yeah, we like I said, man, it's all about family, just trying to grow and get it. That right there was that's what my trailer looked like when I first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that that's not the one you have now, right?
No, that's the one we have now, but now we've got it completely stocked with both sides of equipment. Yeah, we've got
organized and hung up.
Yeah, everything's hung up. I mean, that had the hanger up there, but I was blowing out the grass, and that's actually out at her place out in Stark. She lives out there.
Wow.
And one thing about it, supporting small business, staying in interaction, people out there, they do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're about. I mean, it's part of what we're about. I mean, my thing with this podcast is I want to grow this podcast so that when you come on, you'll notice you'll see a noticeable hit to your Instagram or social media or whatever, and to your business. Like I want it to be I want there to be an ROI for you, because I look at this as an investment in your time. So I want it to be, that is the only reason I want this to grow. I don't care about becoming like a influencer.
Go to the one with the dog.
Is that your pup?
Yeah. So that's the 60. That's our 60-inch mower. That's our Old English Bulldog Jameson. And I didn't name him. My wife did. And it is Jameson whiskey. Spelled the same.
That was my poison.
But yeah, so I mean, he comes out and he'll make appearances and put his paw of approval is what
that's cool.
My daughter's come up with. And
I like that.
Yeah.
That's like the what is it, Brandon? The pest control company. They have the little hound dog or whatever.
They used to. I hadn't seen that advertisement in a while,
haven't either.
though.
Maybe that popped died.
Yeah.
It's time to get a new one.
Either that or they sold out.
Could be that too. Could be
that.
Could be.
So it's like you see the one that you got highlighted right there, those leaves. You was asking like during the winter. So that's the bagger that I have on my mower.
Okay.
And I can pretty much pick up about 98%. And you can see the leaves with before, during, and after. But we just run it over, and
my neighbor would love that service because of those 2 sycamore trees.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. My whole neighborhood hates me. And I mean, like, I bought this house with those trees. I didn't plant them. They were already there.
They were already there, yeah.
But they dropped those giant sycamore tree leaves. Oh, what a cutie. What type of dog is he?
He's an old English bulldog.
English bulldog.
Yeah. So he's old English, so he's not just full-blooded English bulldog because of the lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
We had another one. And then, of course, there's my beautiful wife.
Oh.
Of 23 years, 30 years together.
Man, congratulations. That's a feat these days.
Oh, yeah.
It's too easy to get, divorced, and people, they have a little argument or disagreement, and they just want to run away.
Right, exactly.
Maybe they think that the grass is green. Not to be, what is that? I'm not saying that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. That was like a little play on words because, what you do.
Right.
The hedges might be trimmed.
Yeah, well, whatever. But I'm just saying people start thinking that way. So I think it's huge for you. I'm really proud of you, man. I know that's stupid, or maybe doesn't mean much coming from me, but I mean, for someone who I was married for 21 years, and she thought that the grass was greener somewhere else.
No, I get it.
And she what is it? FAFO?
Yeah. There you go.
Fuck around and find out.
So that one right there, you talk about giving, like, trying to be community. So when the hurricanes came through Douglas, Georgia, one of my clients, his wife grew up there, and they were saying how bad it was.
Mm-hmm.
They had 21 tornadoes come through in about 17 minutes. So I reached out to all my clients, and I said, look, if you want to donate monetary cash, if you want to do supplies, whatever it is, we as a company are going to match it dollar for dollar. So if you give $200, I'm going to give $200, but your $200 is going to come off of your bill. So it doesn't matter. And we've got some great clients. They're like, no, we don't want it. We want to help, but we didn't know how, and you're donating. So we loaded up 2 trucks, 2 trailers, took them up there. We had my 7x16 enclosed trailer filled with nothing but supplies. Went up there, and just say there's 100,000 people in Douglas. Only 10,000 had power. And we got with a church. And they fed us. They wanted to feed us, and we wouldn't allow it, but they let us stay there. We took showers and their things, and they were doing that for the community. So the linemen would come in doing the 12-hour shifts.
Mm-hmm.
They would come in. We got there that morning. The linemen had just came in, ate breakfast, and we just unloaded. I mean, it was like an assembly line. I mean, it took us 3 hours to load up that trailer. It took them 20 minutes. They were in and out, and then we just hit the road, and we cut trees for 3 days.
Yeah. That's huge, man.
We just donated every bit of it back. Like I said, I mean, anybody that donated, I think we ended up getting $1,400 in cash. We took another trailer with a 265-gallon water tank. You ain't got no water. All of it up there is on well anyway. You can't flush a toilet.
Right.
So we took that, and we had 2 pallets of water we took up there. So we matched, like I said, with everything. Went up there on our own dime. I paid my guy like normal. Hey, this is what you would have normally made. Here's what you get,
That's huge, dude.
I just wanted to give back because, I mean, I was literally, when they told me about Douglas, we were about to head up to North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
My dad lives up in Helen, Georgia.
Is that around the same time as what happened in North Carolina?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
okay.
It was the same storm. But it was the Douglas, I mean, being 300-something miles off the shore to have that many tornadoes.
Yeah.
And they're in the middle of nowhere. They don't have, it's not like mountains, and it's not like the ponds and, whatever, like North Carolina, where, all the water's coming in and they ain't got nowhere to go. They didn't flood, but the tornadoes, I mean, I've never seen a pine tree literally get twisted in the middle, picked up, twisted in the middle, and sat back down, and you could literally walk up there and pick your toothpick. I mean, and just miles.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's really, I mean, I know you're not saying that for kudos, but like, I mean, it's such a hard time, and all those people from Georgia on up, like they got kind of the shit into the stick.
Oh yeah, they did big time
by our government. There's
the pig.
Oh, there it is.
There's Ollie.
Just hanging out.
She was just hanging out, and I'd go out there. And the thing about it is, it's funny. She got to the point where she didn't like us coming in with the 60-inch mower to begin with. But I'd say about the third time we've cut, she just lay out in her little pen and she wouldn't even move.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she was run around. She'd get in front of the mower and she thought I was chasing her. I'm not chasing you. I'm just trying to keep my lines. Yeah. Everything was perfect.
Oh, that's dope. That's a nice piece of property too.
Yeah. And it's actually still on the market to be sold now.
Well, I mean, I don't know who the real estate agent is, but you're welcome.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Where's it at?
I want my 5%.
Out in McClenny. Yeah, it's out in McClenny. And you would think McClenny's like, oh, that's not an HOA. They do. They have a little HOA. Yeah, but I mean, they're sitting on 2.5, 3 acre property.
Well, I'll tell you what. That is something that I will never do again.
Is it a house that's for sale or just land?
No, the house and the land.
Right.
I just and I don't know. And speaking of HOAs, it's just made my brain start twirling. But I just read something the other day, and I don't know if it's bullshit or if it's real. But our new president has and again, it could be not true, but he said he was disbanding or making it illegal to have HOAs.
I don't know. That'd be kind of hard.
I can look it up.
Yeah.
See if you can find something.
I mean, I know Florida, the Florida Supreme Court and all of them, they made the ruling where now they can't enforce certain things they were trying to do. That it took effect last June, which is good.
Yeah, there's just some of them can get out of control.
Oh yeah.
Like before I lived here, when I was married, we lived in Woodbridge, and I think that was like my first place where I lived, whatever you want to call it, complex, whatever, but where we had an HOA, and it was like I didn't know what that meant.
Oh yeah.
And when we moved in, there was all the normal, standard shit. There was a maple tree, sapling that they put in the front yard. And I didn't want that, so I just yanked it out of the ground and put a palm tree.
Right.
And I thought it looked better. We put there was a magnolia in the back. I didn't want that. Yanked it out of the ground, and I gave it to the guys that brought the palm tree. They were like, "We can take that because they'll sell it."
Oh yeah.
Because it was perfectly fine. It wasn't very big. It was still like held up with a stick.
Oh yeah. So it was still baby.
Yeah. But I did all that. And then we did all the curb, like the flower garden, the bed, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And we were just going after it because it was we had the house built.
Oh yeah.
And but we didn't want any landscaping really done, just the standard shit.
Right.
So we were just like we'll do it ourselves, and put rocks in the flower bed. Did all that, and I get this notification telling me I had to get rid of it all, or pay a fine. And I was like, what? What? First of all, I'm not going to rip all this work that I just did out of the ground. It's not happening. Second of all, what's your stupid fine? I ended up paying the fine. I don't remember what it was. It was like $200 or some shit like that. But I'm just like, okay. And then you start getting notices where you're like parked in your own driveway, but you're covering the sidewalk, and they like come and put a notice on your car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, God, what will you guys allow me to do? Paint
well, it's
the house.
like we live in the HOA. We live in Edgewood Landing, which is the old Leonard Skinner Hell House property out there in Green Cove.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a gated community. You'd be surprised how many people you'd see come in there to try to steal sand from the old Hell House property.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean, the Hell House property? I don't think I've ever heard of that.
So Leonard Skinner, when the first 2 albums that they did, they recorded them and played them in the old Hell House is what they called it.
Okay.
Well, it was an old farm is what it was, and this old guy on the farm, they would either come in through the little dirt road, or they would come in off of the St. John's River into Peters Creek and come into the house. Well, they called it Hell House. It had no AC, had no power, and they're in there literally doing it by candlelight, and rocking with, whatever they could, generators or wherever they ended up getting some type of power. But the house itself is where they recorded the first 2 albums.
Sounds quite haunted.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is people would come in, they're like, oh, that needs to be a memorial. They need to, the state of Florida needs to. No. They didn't. Leonard Skinner, we all grew up on him, listening to the music. But if the family doesn't want to keep the tradition going and stand behind that,
right.
and stand with you, you're fighting an endless battle.
Yeah.
And I'm one street from the house.
Okay.
Well, they're just now finishing the brand new home. The people that bought it finally.
So somebody bought the land and
somebody bought
tore
the land
it down
and they paid extra. Well, no, the old house burnt down. And they finally just tore it down. But people would come in. They would come in our gated community either by boat and do the same thing, come up on the land, and they'd be out there with little shovels that you'd use in a garden, putting it in a glass or a bucket or a bag. Or
those
whatever.
are hardcore fans. He must have had to pee.
Yep.
Well, I don't know why he was telling you because, like,
it's like, go pee, man. You're good.
Yeah, you're just sitting in the corner quietly.
Yeah, you're fine. He's like, can I go pee? I'm like, yeah.
He's so fucking funny.
No, hold it.
Right.
He used to live.
Yeah, I lived.
He grew up.
So Leonard Skinner, they lived off of Brickyard Road right there off of College right here.
Right.
About a mile down.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in Terra Farms. Well, I don't want to put them on blast, but they live back there.
Right.
Too late.
Too late.
Behind the McDonald's.
Spoiler alert.
People
Right.
know. But no, I would grow up in the summers because I lived back there and be swimming in the pool. And they had this like 2-story, like it was like a converted barn almost.
Mm-hmm.
And the upstairs was like is a recording studio.
Right.
And they would just open the doors because they had like sliding doors on each side, and they would just boom, boom, would be in there just practicing
Tearing
or
it up.
recording songs or whatever. And it was just like I could hear that 2 blocks away, chilling in my pool as a like 15-year-old kid just growing up.
Oh yeah.
Like in the summers, just loving it. And no, but Leonard Skinner was a big part of my life. Like I was born and raised here in Orange Park, and then kind of like grew up in Middleburg, Orange Park area. But yeah, man, it's awesome to like just be able to be around it and like know the history. So,
to know the
like
history, I mean, I'm down for it. But, I mean, when you've got, like, I live on, it's called Tuesday, the song Tuesday's Gone.
Yep.
I live on Tuesday's Cove.
Okay.
Don't be telling people your address, bro.
Oh, I ain't doing that. Yeah, for sure. Get through the gate if you want to.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Exactly.
Well, he's well armed.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, but you'd be surprised. People come in, and there was 2 guys, they ended up getting arrested. They're in front of Tuesday's Cove.
Stay close to that mic.
Yeah. They're in front of
Pull
Tuesday's.
it up to you can move it. It swivels.
They're in front of Tuesday's Cove in
Yeah.
front of the sign with 2 357 Magnums taking pictures.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a playground directly across the street.
Oh, great.
So, of course, homeowners, we call the cops, somebody did. And they got arrested for displaying the weapon in public. And they're like, oh, it wasn't loaded.
Fucking
But
jackasses.
one, you're on private property.
You're brandishing a weapon.
This is not owned. None of this is owned by Clay County. This is all owned by us. This is our playground. This is our roads, and everything.
Yeah.
People just don't pay attention.
That's insane.
We got one lady that came through. She was high as a kite, drunk as all get out, butt naked. And the cops didn't realize that until they pulled her over and told her to get out of the car.
Jim's kind of gal.
Yeah.
Well,
She gets out the car and she ain't got a stitch of clothes on.
Wow.
And dude, this is like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So I walk outside. I'm seeing the lights. I look outside. And
there's a
she's
naked
butt
lady.
naked. Yeah, and they're like, "Ma'am, go ahead and sit back in the car." Oh, you told me to get out. Ma'am, just sit back in the car.
What was
we'll
her?
Be fine.
Do you know what her deal was? She like, I mean, what kind of drugs was she on? Like,
I don't know, but I know that the last thing they asked us, as a community, did we want to do anything? We're like, no, she just needs to get some help.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't know, but
That's
they had
nice.
to have a female officer come.
yeah.
And I don't know if they ever found her clothes because they ended up wrapping her with one of those raincoats from Clay County and taking her to the jail.
And hauling her off in the paddy wagon.
Yeah.
But she was literally saying, that's what she was saying. She was like, I just want to get some dirt. Just want to get some dirt.
Where was she gonna put it?
She had a duffel bag.
I'm
Literally,
just
she had a
saying.
duffel bag with a small shovel and 3 bags.
It's too much to carry with clothes.
Yeah. It weighs too much.
That's insane. Oh, that's crazy, dude. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's an interesting tidbit. But yeah, what did you find on the HOAs?
That's not true. No reports that Trump signed an executive order.
Okay, so
banning
it's
HOAs.
rumors.
But I think I read one story where he
A
did
TikTok
talk,
user made the first claim.
where he said it wouldn't be a bad idea. He thinks it's unconstitutional. So, yeah.
Yeah. Like I agree and I disagree. Like I live here in this neighborhood and there's no HOA. But you can drive through the neighborhood and kind of see what the difference between a subdivision with an HOA and then one without. you
Right.
know. Luckily, there's no like car parts and shit sitting in people's driveways and there was I think they got cited and had to clean it all up. But somewhere out here, it might have been in Tanglewood, but like Tanglehood,
Exactly.
there was like they had a big piece of property, and they had like washers and dryers and like front end the cars and just like shit, and they're just trash.
Oh yeah, that
in
was a
their
place
front.
that had like 100 animals.
Yeah, they had they had all the goats and
wow.
stuff. They were selling like meat goats.
They got busted by Clay County for like animal abuse for having all these animals stacked on top of each other. It was crazy. They had like over 130 animals, I think, sent to the fairgrounds to be like taken care of for a month, rehabilitated. Some had to be put down. Some were just like inbreded so bad, and they had to find them home, send them to animal shelters, and then
That's insane.
They couldn't do it until legal due process was done. And it was I think it took like 4 or 5 months after it was all said and done to get these animals taken care of. It was crazy.
Yeah, so I can see the point of having an HOA.
Yeah.
It's like an agreement.
Right.
We're paying money,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to take care of our shit. You know, our neighborhood's going to look nice, and it does drive the value of your house up, I imagine.
It does. But I mean, it's like me. I mean, I own a business.
Sure.
I don't have it all over my truck, but I have it on the back windows.
Mm-hmm.
You going to send me a letter saying I need to remove that? No.
Or park it at the front.
Yeah.
Where they park the boats.
Right. And I mean, we have that. So I mean, already have my trailer over there and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, no.
And it's gated, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's a gated community.
I mean, it's the question. The question is, how much authority are they allowed to, or should they be allowed to have when it comes to saying what you can and can't have on your property?
Right.
You know,
Well, it's just like a shed.
How
Put
you
a
can
shed on the
display
truck,
it.
you know.
How you
Yeah.
can display it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
But
Yeah.
I mean, what's funny is we have Clay County, the water and the power, you know, the Clay County Electric or whatever. They told him he had to park. He couldn't drive his own company vehicle home.
Wow.
What?
And we got a new management company at that point, and we told him, we were like, yeah, no, that's not even in our bylaws.
Yeah.
You're trying to take something out of somebody else's bylaws.
They
We don't even have
take
that.
it a little too far,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they get power hungry.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I found out a lot of these companies are also like based out of like another city. Like a lot of the ones here in Jacksonville, I found are based out of like West
Yeah.
Palm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they come from a hub of different boards that
Right.
all fall under one conglomerate. So it's like they all tried to. They might have different rules throughout these communities, but they all try to like blend their fucking.
So
stupid
if they're
ideas.
not even
You know what I
local,
mean?
then how are they getting wind of like when you change plants or whatever? Is it like your neighbors are ratting you out or what?
Yeah, well,
It's a little messed
Could
up.
be.
there. I have literally talked to homeowners because I do HVAC, so I'm at a lot of nice places that spend very lucrative, like good money for nice systems, and so I'm talking to because we have to do certain thing at HOAs when we install HVAC systems. It has to be behind somewhere that's usually covered, and if we run a line up into the attic, that has to be covered a certain way, a certain color, yada yada yada. And so I asked these people, I said, you know, where these people live here? Like, no. Yeah, they do, but they come back and forth from West Palm. They stay here part time, but like the company that they work for falls under another company that works and is based out of West Palm. So it's usually all contractually up a like a ladder, basically.
Right.
And so I feel like from the
a
outside
Ponzi
looking
scheme.
in, it is.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, it's these people paying money into a bigger pot for somebody else to have a lucrative, stupid fucking business, saying what you can and can't do in your own home, at your own property. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Is it not? You don't even live here. You do. It's part time. Like what? Like so? How local are you? Where do your intentions lie? Are you looking at me like I'm a pot of money here, being able to fill your coffers? Or do you actually give a fuck about what this place looks like? What I understand, like you're trying to make the place nice. You feel like maybe it's your job to do so. Like you've been assigned to because you're sitting on a board and it's an HOA, homeowners association. So
Right.
it's an association of people. Yeah, you might get voted in, voted out, whatnot. But where does your allegiance lie? at the end
Yeah,
of the
I
day,
feel like
you know?
if you're doing anything to beautify your space,
Right.
it should be fine.
Yeah.
As long as they give you the parameters when you move in. Okay, all right, I'll stick within these. Of course, certain colors on the house or whatever. But if I make it look ugly and like gaudy or something, like I get it. I'm gonna pay fines and I'm gonna have to change it. But I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like if I'm putting a crepe myrtle in or something, like come on, dude. Everybody's got one of them.
Well, we just took one out and put a big palm tree in,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't ask.
You didn't ask?
Nah. But it's we moved in, and me and the wife was like, well, we need to find out what we can and can't do in the HOA. And I'm like, I can't stand them people.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, if you can't beat them, join them. So I was on the board for 2 years.
Look at you.
And
very smart man.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'll ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the crepe myrtle. Crepe myrtle never bloomed in 3 years.
Right.
I want a palm tree. Wife wants a palm tree.
Yep.
Wife happy? Happy wife, happy life.
That's what they say.
Exactly.
What about happy dad? What about happy husband?
Go outside and play in the yard.
Yeah.
Go play in the dirt.
Go drink a beer, cut the grass.
Yeah, go cut the grass.
Yeah.
No, that's good, man. You got to take care of yourself. So the HOAs are staying, people. Pat did the research.
Yeah.
We don't normally do a lot of research unless it's like aliens or something.
He's back over there.
Yeah, we brought our own alien today.
Right. Will Todd.
Will Todd. Shut up, Will Todd.
Sorry, I was being an alien.
What are you doing?
Being an alien.
Oh. I don't know what he's been doing over there. He was filming us for a minute. I don't know if that was on his live. I don't know what's happening right now, but
There's no telling.
yeah. Well, dude, I really appreciate you coming in here and hanging out.
Oh, yeah, man.
dude.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your time, dude. I mean,
yeah.
I know you're a busy man and you got a lot of stuff going on.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, I guess we'll wrap her up. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Go ahead and tell right there and just tell everybody all your socials. That way they can go and find you, whether they want to follow you or hire you.
Gotcha. So it's Butler Resolution on Facebook. You've got Instagram. It's butler.resolution. TikTok is also butler.resolution. Videos are uploaded daily, Monday through Friday. We also have a web page. It's www.butlerresolutionllc.com. That will be going down temporarily, but we'll get it back up here soon once we revamp it. And give us a call. Butler Resolution, 678-386-3393. Thanks.
That's what's up, my dude.
That's it.
And you're welcome back anytime.
Oh,
we
man.
don't just gotta talk about grass cutting.
Oh, man. Hey, next time we'll talk about Wilmore.
Yeah, we'll mess with him.
Yeah.
We'll bring him in and we can have him sit down with us.
Make him do a haircut while we're sitting here.
Oh no.
Hey, touch me up, Will. Touch me up.
Touch my edges. Touch my
Touch me
edges.
up, Will.
I don't want Will touching anything on me.
Wow.
Hey, we love you guys and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it.
See you.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate it, bro.